Louis Althusser, 1918 to 1990. The problem is that there is such a thing as the body. Worse, there are sexual organs too. When Louis Althusser met Helene Rittmann at the age of 38, he was a 30-year-old virgin. Helene, who was older than Althusser, introduced the French philosopher to the bold world of sexuality. But perhaps Althusser wasn't ready for this world. When he was with Helene for the first time, he was mentally shaken to the point of falling into a deep depression. He required shock therapy and had to be hospitalized. Despite these ominous signs, Althusser eventually accepted sexuality as part of his life and married Helene. However, it seems that Helene had trained her young lover too well. Althusser soon began to cheat on her with other women. Violent arguments became part of their marriage, and Helene constantly threatened to kill herself. The lack of close friends only increased his suffering. None of this helped Althusser's fragile mental state. He had to be hospitalized frequently and undergo intensive psychoanalytic treatments. Despite all this, Althusser continued to teach surprisingly. He taught for more than 30 years at the École Normale Supérieure in Paris. His radical Marxist philosophy influenced an entire generation of French philosophers. Althusser's life was turned upside down when, in the early hours of a quiet Sunday morning in 1980, he accidentally killed his wife. He wrote about it with disturbing clarity. I was kneeling behind her, leaning against her body, massaging her neck. I would usually massage her nape and back in silence. But this time, I was massaging the front part of her neck. Helene's face was calm and motionless. Her eyes were open, and she was staring at the ceiling. Suddenly, I was struck with horror. Her eyes were fixed on the same spot without blinking. I noticed that the tip of her tongue was oddly and lifelessly visible between her teeth and lips. I had seen dead bodies before, of course, but I had never looked at the face of someone who had drowned. I knew she had drowned. How? I jumped to my feet and screamed, "I strangled Helene!" He claimed that he had been suffering from the acute mental confusion caused by years of manic depression. He was then judged to be mentally incapable of being tried and spent nearly 3 years in psychiatric hospitals before being released in 1982. Over the next 8 years until his death, he was constantly admitted to hospitals. During this time, he managed to find enough time and mental clarity to write his autobiography, L'avenir d'une longtemps, The Future Lasts a Long Time. In his own words, I think I also learned what it means to love, to be considerate of others, to respect their desires and rhythms, never to demand anything, but to learn to receive and to welcome every gift as a surprise, to be able to give something to others in a completely humble way, and to surprise them without the slightest effort. His wife, when she was strangled by her husband one morning, was undoubtedly very surprised. Thank you for watching our video. If you enjoyed this philosophical discussion, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, and we're eager to hear your opinions. See you in the next video.